There's a strange comfort in knowing that across decades and continents, certain images from Dragon Ball have woven themselves into the fabric of internet culture. These frozen moments, plucked from battles and transformations and quiet defeats, have become something more than animation. They've become a language. If you're still awake and listening, you're welcome to subscribe for more calm Dragon Ball stories. And if you feel like it, tell me where you're listening from tonight, as we drift through the accidental poetry of how a fighting anime became the world's most quoted visual shorthand. The story begins not with intention, but with repetition. In the late 1990s, when forums and early image boards were just learning how to speak in pictures, Dragon Ball Z was airing in syndication across America, the same episodes, week after week, building a rhythm in the collective memory. Certain frames started appearing more often than others, not because they were particularly beautiful or meaningful in context, but because they captured something universal, a feeling of defeat, a moment of absurd confidence, the exact expression someone makes when they realize they've made a terrible mistake. These images didn't announce themselves as memes, they simply persisted. Someone would screenshot a moment from the Saiyan saga, another person would add text, a third would share it beyond Dragon Ball communities into spaces where most people had never watched an episode. The image would travel, disconnected from its origin, carrying only the emotion it evoked, and in that travel, it would transform. What began as Yamcha lying defeated in a crater became every failure, every embarrassing moment, every time someone tried too hard and crashed too hard. The original context faded. The feeling remained. What's remarkable is how specific these transformations are. Not every defeated character became a meme. Not every confident speech or dramatic pose. There's something almost mathematical about which moments stuck and which dissolved into the archive of forgotten frames. Yamcha's particular sprawl in the dirt, arm bent at that specific angle. Vegeta's scouter shattering as numbers climb beyond reason. Frieza's transformations stretching across episodes that somehow fit into 5 minutes of narrative time. Each one found its audience not through marketing or intention, but through pure resonance. People saw themselves, or they saw their friends, or they saw the absurdity of existence captured in a frame from a show about alien warriors with monkey tails. The early 2000s brought broader internet access, more people online, more platforms for sharing. Dragon Ball memes multiplied, but they also refined. The most effective ones stripped away context entirely. You didn't need to know who Yamcha was to understand the death pose. You didn't need to have watched the Saiyan saga to grasp why its over 9,000 became shorthand for exaggeration and absurd escalation. The memes became self-sustaining. They taught their own meaning through repetition and variation. A new generation encountered them not through the show, but through message boards, comment sections, early YouTube compilations. The images preceded the source material. The emotion came first. The context arrived later, if at all. There's a certain melancholy in realizing that Yamcha, a character who began Dragon Ball as one of the strongest humans alive, would become permanently associated with failure. His death pose, captured in episode 19 of Dragon Ball Z, has been recreated across countless anime, referenced in manga panels, traced in fan art, photoshopped onto every imaginable background. The pose itself is almost elegant in its defeat. One arm extended, the other bent beneath him, legs splayed, face turned toward empty sky. It reads immediately as finished, complete. Beyond recovery, when the self-destructing Saiyaman latched onto him and detonated, the animators gave us this particular angle of aftermath. And something about that angle, that specific arrangement of limbs and shadow, encoded itself into internet DNA. The crater helps. There's visual poetry in how Yamcha's body mirrors the depression in the earth, as if the ground itself recognized the weight of his failure and shaped itself accordingly. Early meme creators didn't need to add much. The image spoke. Sometimes they'd overlay his face onto other craters, other failures, school test scores, relationship screenshots, job application rejections. The Yamcha pose became a universal symbol, not because people knew his story, but because the pose itself told a story everyone had lived. The moment when you realize you've miscalculated, overestimated, tried for something beyond your reach, and landed face first in the consequences. What's interesting is how the meme has aged. Most internet jokes have a shelf life measured in months. The Yamcha death pose has endured for over 2 decades. It appears in different contexts, different languages, different communities that have no overlap except this shared visual vocabulary. Someone in Brazil uses it to express disappointment in a football match. Someone in Japan layers it into a manga about office workers. Someone in Finland photoshops it onto a frozen lake. The pose transcends its origin. Yamcha himself becomes almost irrelevant. The meme is the message, the sprawl is the language. And yet there's something almost honorable in how thoroughly Yamcha committed to creating internet history. He died several times throughout Dragon Ball, against King Piccolo's forces, against androids in alternate timelines, absorbed by Majin Buu. But only this death, this particular sprawl, in this specific crater, achieved immortality, perhaps because it came early in Z's run, when American audiences were first encountering the series. Perhaps because of the dramatic irony Yamcha had just won against a Saiyaman moments before. He was confident, cocky even. The reversal hit harder, or perhaps there's no logic to it at all. Sometimes an image simply captures the exact geometry of defeat, and the world decides to remember. If you're still awake halfway through, maybe subscribe before you drift off, and tell me what time it is where you're watching from. The "It's over 9,000" moment followed a different path to meme status. Where Yamcha's pose spoke through visual composition, this phrase exploded through pure auditory chaos. The English dub of episode 29 gave us Vegeta's scouter shattering as he processed Goku's power level. Brian Drummond's delivery in the Ocean dub became the version most people remember, though Christopher Sabat's Funimation interpretation also burned into collective memory. The way the voice cracks, the disbelief layered into those 4 words, the scouter literally breaking from the strain of displaying such an impossible number. In the original Japanese version, the line was 8,000. The manga stated 8,000, but the English localization pushed it higher, and somehow that change stuck. 9,000 became the number, not because it was accurate, but because it sounded right. The phrase entered forums and chat rooms and comment sections. "It's over 9,000" became code for anything excessive, anything that exceeded normal parameters. Homework assignments, video game scores, the price of concert tickets, someone's ego. The phrase worked because it was both specific and absurd. 9,000 what? It doesn't matter. The number itself is meaningless. What matters is the tone, the incredulity, the sense that something has spiraled beyond all reasonable limits. The meme peaked in the mid-2000s. Compilations on early YouTube, remixes, parodies, people shouting the line at conventions. The phrase escaped Dragon Ball entirely. You could reference it in conversations about cooking, about traffic, about the weather, and people would know exactly what you meant. It became a cultural touchstone that required no explanation. The words themselves carried their meaning. They'd been freed from context, from translation, from the narrative of power levels and Saiyan invasions. They were pure expression now, a way to articulate the feeling when numbers stop making sense. What's easy to forget is that in the scene itself, Vegeta's reaction wasn't about admiration, it was fear. And maybe jealousy. Nappa had just challenged Goku to power up, to show his full strength. When the Scouter's numbers climbed past 9,000 and kept climbing, Vegeta wasn't impressed. He was threatened. This was the first real indication that Goku might actually be stronger than him, that the Saiyan he dismissed as low-class trash might have surpassed the prince. The meme strips away that emotional weight. It keeps only the shock, the raw disbelief, and in doing so, it becomes more versatile, more useful as a tool for communication. The phrase has spawned countless variations. It's over 8,000 for purists who want accuracy. It's under 9,000 for mathematical precision. Each variation plays with the expectation the original meme established. People who've never watched Dragon Ball Z know the line. They've heard it in compilations, in parodies, in casual conversation. The phrase has become larger than its source. It's a unit of measurement now, a way to describe excess. The fact that it came from a mistranslation only adds to its strange power. The meme is built on an error, and that error became canon through sheer repetition. There's a certain irony in Vegeta, the proud Saiyan prince, becoming the source of multiple enduring memes. His character arc is built on maintaining dignity, on refusing to show weakness, on standing apart from others through sheer force of will. And yet the internet has immortalized his most vulnerable moments. The scouter-breaking shock, the rain-soaked defeat, the obsessive focus on a single word, Kakarot. His rival's Saiyan name spoken with such frequency and intensity that it became its own meme. The way Vegeta's obsession with Goku manifests through that one word, repeated across sagas and series, transformed into comedic fuel. The name itself is unremarkable. Kakarot, a vegetable pun like most Saiyan names in Dragon Ball. Carrot, modified slightly, but the way Vegeta wields it, the weight he gives it, the emotion he pours into those three syllables, that's what caught attention. Christopher Sabat's English delivery added layers of resentment and challenge and something almost desperate. Every time Vegeta says Kakarot, he's not just addressing his rival, he's processing his own inadequacy, his inability to surpass the low-class warrior who should have remained beneath him. The name becomes a meditation on jealousy, on rivalry, on the painful awareness that someone else will always be one step ahead. Early meme compilations focused on counting how many times Vegeta said Kakarot across Dragon Ball Z. The number climbed absurdly high. Across episodes and sagas, the name appeared with such frequency that it became a verbal tic. A manifestation of obsession, the memes played with this. Montages of every Kakarot, layered over music, stretched across hours. Jokes about Vegeta's inability to just say Goku like everyone else. The name became a symbol of his character, of the pride that won't let him accept defeat, of the rivalry that defines him more than any transformation or victory. What makes it funnier, in a cosmic way, is that Goku barely notices. He doesn't dwell on being called Kakarot. He doesn't particularly care about the rivalry the way Vegeta does. Goku's attention is always forward, toward the next fight, the next challenge. Vegeta's is backward, stuck on the same comparison, the same measurement of worth. The meme captures this perfectly. Vegeta's intensity, Goku's obliviousness, the fundamental asymmetry of their relationship compressed into a single repeated word. And that word, through meme magic, has been applied to everything. Unrequited crushes, one-sided arguments, situations where one person cares far more than the other. Kakarot became shorthand for imbalanced obsession. Broly took this even further. The original movie version of the character was built almost entirely around screaming Kakarot. His trauma, his rage, his entire motivation reduced to that single name. The crying Kakarot baby keeping him awake. The association of Goku with pain and humiliation. When he finally encountered Goku again as an adult, the name became a roar, a primal scream of recognition and fury. The animators let him repeat it endlessly. Kakarot over and over, each iteration more unhinged than the last. The memes wrote themselves, compilations of Broly's Kakarot screams, edits where the screaming never stops. The absurdity of a legendary Super Saiyan reduced to a single-word vocabulary. The 2018 Broly movie dialed this back, gave the character depth and motivation beyond screaming Goku's Saiyan name. But the meme persisted. The old Broly's Kakarot obsession had already cemented itself in Dragon Ball culture. People still reference it, still laugh at the over-the-top commitment to a single syllable. The new characterization couldn't erase 2 decades of meme history. And in a way, that's beautiful. The memes have their own continuity now, their own canon. What happens in the actual show matters less than what's been encoded into these repeated images and phrases. Vegeta's left arm developed its own mythology entirely separate from any single scene. Across Dragon Ball Z and Super, his left arm takes disproportionate damage, broken by Android 18, damaged by Perfect Cell, injured by Beerus. It became a running joke among fans. A pattern so consistent, it felt deliberate, though it almost certainly wasn't. The animators probably never intended to create a recurring motif around Vegeta's left arm. But through accumulated injury across multiple sagas, the pattern emerged. And once fans noticed, it became permanent. The memes focused on the consistency, lists of every time Vegeta's left arm got damaged, jokes about it having its own power level, usually listed as 0, photoshopped images of Vegeta with a comically injured left arm in every possible scenario. The pattern became predictive. Fans would watch new episodes or movies waiting to see how this saga would hurt Vegeta's left arm. It became a morbid bingo square, a way to measure whether the animators were aware of the running joke they'd accidentally created. What's interesting is how this meme interacts with character analysis. Some fans use it as evidence of Vegeta's defensive habits, his tendency to lead with his right, leaving his left more vulnerable. Others see it as symbolic. The left side often represents the past in various cultural contexts. Vegeta's left arm taking repeated damage could mirror his inability to let go of old grudges, old failures, or it's pure coincidence, random chance that accumulated into pattern through viewer attention. Either way, the meme gave fans a new lens for watching fights. Every time Vegeta entered battle, there was anticipation, a quiet wondering if this would be another left arm injury to add to the compilation. The fusion dance poses created a different kind of meme. Where most Dragon Ball memes emerge from single frozen moments, the fusion dance is about movement, about the specific choreography of embarrassment, the synchronized stepping, the pointing, the perfectly mirrored poses that somehow result in a combined warrior. The dance itself is ridiculous by design. Toriyama drew it to be silly, to be undignified, to contrast with the serious power it produces. But watching Goku and Vegeta perform it, especially that first time in Fusion Reborn, elevated the absurdity. Vegeta's resistance became part of the meme. His declaration that he'd rather die than perform such an undignified dance. The dramatic irony that he was already dead, so dying wasn't an option. Goku's patience in teaching him, the multiple failed attempts, the resulting fusions, Veku and Fat Gotenks themselves becoming meme fodder. The dance requires perfect synchronization, perfect timing. And watching these powerful warriors perform what essentially amounts to synchronized ballet, fingers extended, voices harmonizing, created comedy gold. The memes extended beyond Dragon Ball. The fusion dance pose appeared in other anime as reference, in live-action parodies. In sports celebrations, two people could perform the dance without any context, and Dragon Ball fans would recognize it immediately. It became a gesture of coordination, of teamwork, of being willing to look silly for a greater purpose. The pose's specificity made it perfect for recreation. Unlike Kamehameha hand positions, which could be ambiguous, the fusion dance had exact choreography, exact finger placement. You either did it right or created a failed fusion. What makes it better is Vegeta's ongoing reluctance. Even after proving the dance works, even after saving the universe multiple times through fusion, he never stops hating it. His pride can't reconcile with the undignified movements. Each time they fuse, there's a moment of visible distaste, of resignation. Goku treats it casually, functionally. Vegeta treats it like torture. That dynamic became its own source of memes. The contrasting attitudes toward the same silly dance, the way Goku doesn't understand why Vegeta cares so much about looking cool while fighting universe-ending threats. The 5 minutes became a meme about time itself, about perception and narrative compression, and the strange elasticity of how long things take in Dragon Ball. Frieza's declaration that Namek would explode in 5 minutes, followed by multiple episodes of fighting, became the ultimate example of anime time dilation. Those 5 minutes stretched across hours of content. Goku and Frieza's battle, transformations, speeches, entire character arcs, all supposedly happening within a 5-minute window before planetary destruction. The meme wrote itself, comparisons to real-world 5-minute claims, the friend who says they'll be ready in 5 minutes and emerges an hour later, the teacher who promises 5 more minutes of class and continues for 20. Frieza's 5 minutes became a unit of measurement for unreliable time estimates. Dragon Ball time, where 5 minutes can contain infinity, where countdowns mean nothing, where the only clock that matters is narrative necessity. What's funny is the scene makes internal sense, sort of. Frieza was operating on his own perception of time, his internal calculation of how long before the planet's core destabilized. But he couldn't account for the battle itself stretching, for his own transformations, for Goku's patience in waiting for him to reach full power. The 5-minute estimate was probably accurate in normal circumstances, but nothing about that fight was normal. So 5 minutes became elastic, became however long the story needed. The meme also highlights Dragon Ball's relationship with pacing. The manga moved faster. The anime, needing to avoid catching up to source material, stretched everything, added scenes, extended battles, turned minutes into episodes. Frieza's 5-minute countdown became the perfect symbol of this structural issue. It wasn't a mistake, it was a feature, a necessity of weekly anime production colliding with monthly manga release. But from the audience's perspective, watching episode after episode while that 5-minute clock supposedly ticked, the absurdity became unavoidable. Later series tried to address this. Dragon Ball Kai trimmed the fat, removed filler, brought pacing closer to the manga's rhythm. But by then, the 5-minute meme was established. It had escaped its origin and become a way to talk about waiting, about the gap between promised time and actual time. Frieza's 5 minutes became every 5 minutes that never ends, every soon that means eventually, every almost done that means still waiting. Piccolo's training methods generated their own collection of memes. The way he taught young Gohan by throwing him at mountains and telling him to dodge. The simplicity of dodge, his instruction, the casual violence of his teaching philosophy. In Dragon Ball Z Abridged, this became even more pronounced. The parody series took Piccolo's blunt training style and crystallized it into pure comedy. Every problem solved by telling Gohan to dodge. Every question answered with dodge. The word itself becoming a mantra. The original scene has context. Piccolo needed Gohan to unlock his potential quickly. The Saiyans were coming. There was no time for gentle instruction, so he adopted a sink or swim approach. Throw the kid at danger, force him to adapt, survival training at its most extreme. The method worked, narratively. Gohan's power grew. But watching it, there's something absurd about a 6-year-old being told to just dodge while his teacher fires energy blasts at him. The meme stripped away context and kept the absurdity. Dodge became advice for everything. Relationship problems, dodge. Financial issues, dodge. Existential dread, dodge. The word simplicity made it perfect meme material. It's a non-answer, an impossible suggestion presented as practical wisdom. How do you dodge life's problems? You can't, but Piccolo would tell you to try anyway. And maybe that's the joke. Maybe that's what makes it resonant, the gap between the advice and its usefulness. Team 4 Star's abridged series expanded this into a running gag. Piccolo's entire parenting philosophy reduced to dodge. No emotional support, no actual teaching, just dodge. And when Gohan inevitably fails to dodge, Piccolo acts disappointed, as if this 6-year-old should have naturally understood how to avoid ki blasts from a Namekian warrior. The parody version cemented the meme more firmly than the original scene. Now when people reference Piccolo's training, they're often referencing the abridged version. The parody became the canon in meme terms. What's interesting is how this reflects on Piccolo's character growth. Early in Z, he was harsh, practical to the point of cruelty, but over time, he softened, became a genuine father figure to Gohan, started offering actual advice instead of just combat training. The dodge meme captures Piccolo at his most emotionally unavailable. Before he learned to care, Before Gohan's innocence and persistence wore down his walls, the meme is a snapshot of who Piccolo was, not who he became. And yet, it's the version people remember most clearly. There's also, "I'm only 4, and Piccolo's response, "So what? I'm only 8. The absurdity of both being children by their species' standards. Piccolo, despite his maturity and power, was chronologically 8 years old when training Gohan. Born from King Piccolo, who died 8 years prior, technically a child teaching a child. But Namekians mature differently. Piccolo had adult knowledge, adult capability, despite his actual age. The exchange highlighted this gap. Gohan seeing himself as too young, Piccolo pointing out that age is relative. The meme extended beyond Dragon Ball, used whenever someone young accomplishes something impressive. Whenever age becomes an excuse or an explanation, the exchange works because both characters are right. Gohan is too young for what's being asked of him, and Piccolo is too young to be anyone's mentor. But circumstances don't care about appropriate ages. The Saiyans are coming regardless. Someone has to prepare. Someone has to step up. Age becomes irrelevant in the face of necessity. Krillin's nose, or rather his lack of one, spawned its own corner of Dragon Ball memes. The design choice to give him no visible nose led to a canonical explanation in the original series. During a fight against an opponent who relied on stench-based attacks, Goku reminded Krillin that he doesn't have a nose. This allowed Krillin to ignore the smell and win the fight. What started as a stylistic choice became a plot point, and that plot point became a meme. The joke is in how often people forget. Krillin himself sometimes forgets he has no nose. Characters will reference smell around him, he'll react to odors, but technically, canonically, he has no nose, no nostrils. The air he breathes enters through somewhere else? The biology doesn't make sense if you think about it too hard, which is exactly why it's funny. Dragon Ball doesn't explain it. Doesn't need to. Krillin has no nose. That's just how he is. Accept it and move on. Memes played with this. Photoshopped noses onto Krillin, making him look wrong. Jokes about how he breathes. Speculation about whether he can taste food properly, since taste and smell are connected. The absence became more noticeable through meme focus. Artists drew attention to the missing feature, made it the center of the joke, and in doing so, made everyone who'd watched Dragon Ball for years suddenly realize they'd never questioned why Krillin's face was designed that way. It also became shorthand for characters missing obvious features. Whenever someone in any anime had a strange design choice, Dragon Ball fans would reference Krillin's nose, or lack thereof. The meme established that Dragon Ball doesn't need to justify its character designs. If Toriyama wanted to draw someone without a nose, that person doesn't have a nose. End of explanation. The simplicity of that approach became something to celebrate. No overthinking, no complex biological justification. Just accept the design and enjoy the story. The Ginyu Force poses created a different kind of meme entirely. Where the fusion dance was about coordination between two people, the Ginyu Force was about synchronized choreography among 5. Each member had their own signature pose, their own stance and gesture, and when combined, the 5 poses created a larger tableau, a team introduction that was simultaneously intimidating and absolutely ridiculous. The absurdity was intentional. Toriyama designed the Ginyu Force as elite warriors who also happened to be dramatic performers. They took their poses seriously, practiced them, argued about positioning and timing. The contrast between their actual power and their theatrical presentations created comedy. These were legitimate threats to Goku and his friends, and they introduced themselves through synchronized dancing. The memes took this and ran with it. Real-life recreations became popular. Sports teams would perform Ginyu Force poses after victories. Convention attendees would gather in groups of 5 to pose together. The specific gestures, the exact hand positions and leg angles, became something fans memorized. Not through study, but through sheer exposure. The poses were distinctive enough to recognize immediately and simple enough to replicate. What's remarkable is how the meme has endured. The Ginyu Force appeared in a relatively small portion of Dragon Ball Z, the Namek saga. Specifically, they were defeated and largely forgotten within the narrative, but their poses outlived their relevance to the plot. They became one of the most recognizable elements of Dragon Ball, period, more iconic than many longer-lasting characters, because the poses were pure. Distilled essence of what makes Dragon Ball fun, powerful warriors doing silly things with complete commitment. Football players striking the poses after goals. Basketball teams recreating the formation during practice. The Ginyu Force became a celebration gesture, a way to acknowledge teamwork and coordination while also being intentionally goofy. The meme gave people permission to be both serious and silly, to take competition seriously while not taking yourself too seriously. The Ginyu Force, with their mix of genuine skill and theatrical nonsense, embodied that balance perfectly. Mr. Satan's entire existence became a walking meme, the character designed as comic relief, as the fraud who takes credit for the Z-Fighters' victories, somehow became one of the most beloved parts of Dragon Ball. His confidence despite his relative weakness, his ability to survive situations that should kill him, his genuine courage in the face of threats he doesn't understand. Mr. Satan shouldn't work as a character, but he does. And the memes reflect that strange success. The "he ain't beating Goku though" meme actually connects to Mr. Satan in an indirect way. The joke started as Dragon Ball fans' tendency to insert Goku into every power scaling discussion. Someone would praise a character from any anime. Dragon Ball fans would appear to declare that characters still can't beat Goku. It became a parody of power-level obsession, a way to mock the constant need to compare every fictional character's strength. But it also became something darker. The meme spread to inappropriate contexts, videos of real people overcoming real challenges, children recovering from illness, athletes achieving personal bests, and Dragon Ball fans, either trolling or genuinely missing social cues, would comment that they still can't beat Goku. The meme crossed from funny to uncomfortable, from power-scaling joke to tone-deaf response to human achievement. The discomfort is part of the meme now. The awareness that it's gone too far, that the joke escaped containment and became something else, something less innocent. Dragon Ball fans using it now exist in a weird space. Is it still funny? Is it ever funny? The meme forces a confrontation with how internet jokes can metastasize beyond their original intent, how repetition can transform meaning, how context collapse makes everything weird. Mr. Satan survived everything thrown at him, faced Cell, faced Majin Buu, lived through the destruction of Earth, never actually died in the main timeline, despite being surrounded by threats that erased galaxies. His survival wasn't plot armor in the traditional sense. It was luck, timing, and occasionally genuine heroism. He befriended Buu when no one else could. That friendship saved him, saved humanity indirectly. The joke character became essential. The meme is that he's unkillable, that he has better survival stats than Goku, who has died multiple times. Mr. Satan, the weakest major character, has a better resurrection track record than the protagonist. That shouldn't be true, but it is, and fans celebrated it, made compilations of every time Mr. Satan should have died but didn't. Every moment where his luck or timing saved him, the world champion who actually became a champion of staying alive. There's something deeply funny about the most useless fighter having the best survival rate, about the fraud who takes credit for others' victories genuinely contributing by simply not dying. Mr. Satan's presence became its own form of victory. He represented normal humanity in a world of gods and aliens, and he survived by being clever, by being lucky, by being just likable enough that even villains hesitated to kill him. That's a different kind of strength, not measurable in power levels, but real nonetheless. The language of the gods meme came from a throwaway line in Dragon Ball Super. Vegeta, translating Shenron's formal speech pattern, declared he was speaking the language of the gods. The line itself was meant as characterization. Vegeta studied intensely during his training with Whis. Learning divine language was part of that education. But the meme stripped the context and kept the phrase. Applied it to any incomprehensible speech or writing. Someone posts complex mathematics, language of the gods. Someone writes code that accomplishes something in 3 lines, language of the gods. Someone speaks in technical jargon beyond the listener's understanding, language of the gods. The phrase became a way to acknowledge expertise beyond one's own, to recognize intelligence or skill that operates on a different level. It's simultaneously complimentary and self-deprecating, admitting you don't understand while praising the person who does. What makes it work is Vegeta's delivery, the confidence, the casual way he states it, as if translating divine language is normal for him now. Because it is normal for him, he's trained with a god, fought alongside gods, achieved godly transformations. Speaking their language is just another skill in his arsenal. The meme captures Vegeta's growth, his journey from Saiyan prince to someone who operates on divine levels, but it packages that growth in a single, quotable phrase applicable to everything. The versatility is key. The phrase works in anime contexts and completely outside them. You can apply it to cooking, to music theory, to any specialized knowledge that seems like magic to outsiders. The meme transcended Dragon Ball immediately, became a general internet phrase for acknowledging superior knowledge. Vegeta gave the world a new way to say, I don't understand this, but I respect it. And people took that gift and ran with it. Vegeta's I want to be a Super Saiyan scene became another meme format entirely. The raw desperation, the childlike pleading despite being an adult warrior, Vegeta, who prided himself on stoicism and strength, breaking down into repeated I want statements. The scene was meant to be serious, a window into his psychological state, his frustration at being surpassed, his desperate need to achieve what Goku had. But the animation, the repetition, the way his voice cracked, it all became memeable. People applied the format to their own desperate wants. I want to pass this test. I want to. The childish repetition captured a specific kind of desire, the irrational want that doesn't care about logic or possibility, just pure desperate need for something beyond reach. What makes it hit is that everyone has felt that way. Everyone has wanted something with that same irrational intensity. Wanted it so badly that adult reasoning disappears and you're left with pure childlike desire. Vegeta's breakdown was embarrassing for him, but it was also deeply human. The meme works because it's relatable despite the absurdity. We've all been Vegeta in that moment, wanting something we can't have, asking the universe to give it to us anyway. The Super Saiyan transformation mattered so much to Vegeta because it represented validation, proof that he was still elite, still special. Goku achieving it first shattered something in him, made him confront the possibility that birth and heritage mattered less than he believed, that a low-class Saiyan could surpass a prince. The breakdown was existential. The meme captured that existential desperation and made it applicable to everyday wants. Deep and silly at the same time, Frieza calling Vegeta Prince of No One became one of the coldest burns in Dragon Ball. And it became a meme about harsh truths, about someone pointing out exactly what hurts most. Vegeta clung to his title, Prince of all Saiyans. But Frieza noted the obvious. The Saiyans are extinct. The planet is destroyed. Vegeta rules over nothing. The title is empty, meaningless, a ghost of status that no longer exists. The meme applied to anyone clinging to outdated status, to former positions that no longer matter, to achievements that time has rendered irrelevant. Prince of No One became shorthand for empty titles, for status that exists only in memory. The phrase cuts because it's true. Vegeta is technically still a prince, but a prince needs subjects, needs a kingdom. Without them, the title is just words. What makes it sting is how Frieza delivers it. Casual, matter of fact, not even trying to be cruel, just stating reality. That makes it worse. If it were an insult, Vegeta could dismiss it. But it's just truth, uncomfortable truth delivered without malice, the kind of observation that's harder to defend against than any attack. Frieza didn't even need to hit Vegeta. The words did more damage than any energy blast. The meme also highlights Frieza's intelligence. He knows exactly what to say to hurt someone, understands psychology as well as combat. His cruelty is precise, surgical. He could have insulted Vegeta's strength or skill. Instead, he went for identity, for the core of who Vegeta believes himself to be. And he did it in 4 words. Prince of No One. Devastating efficiency. Krillin's death count became its own meme, the running joke about how many times he's died across Dragon Ball. Killed by Tambourine in original Dragon Ball. Killed by Frieza on Namek. Killed by Super Buu, technically absorbed, but close enough. The exact count depends on what you include. Alternate timelines, movies. But the core meme is simple. Krillin dies a lot, more than most characters. Despite being one of the strongest humans, he keeps ending up dead. The meme is affectionate mostly. Fans love Krillin. His deaths aren't presented as weakness. They're narrative necessity. Someone needs to die to raise stakes. Krillin is important enough that his death matters, but not so central that he can't be brought back. He's the perfect sacrifice character, which sounds terrible when stated plainly, but that's the meme. Acknowledging the structural role Krillin plays in Dragon Ball's storytelling, his death at Frieza's hands became the most iconic. The explosion, Goku's rage, the transformation into Super Saiyan triggered by watching his best friend die. Krillin's death had purpose there. It was the catalyst for the series' most important power-up. But that doesn't make the meme less funny. Krillin died again became a bingo square for Dragon Ball fans. A predictable beat you could set your watch to. What's interesting is how Krillin's later survival changes things. In Super, he's alive more consistently, participates in tournaments, has a family. The death count stopped climbing. But the meme persists, based on past patterns rather than current status. That's how memes work. They freeze a character at a specific point and preserve that version forever. Meme Krillin is forever the guy who keeps dying. Actual Krillin has grown beyond that. But the meme doesn't care about growth. The crying Vegeta in the rain became one of the most versatile Dragon Ball meme templates. The image itself is striking. Vegeta, normally composed, breaking down after his defeat to Android 18, Rain hiding his tears, or maybe emphasizing them. The scene was meant to show his vulnerability, his realization that achieving Super Saiyan hadn't made him invincible, that he still had limits, still could fail. The meme stripped away Dragon Ball context and applied the image to any failure, any disappointment, any moment of defeat. The rain, the posture, the visible anguish, it all read clearly, without needing to know who Vegeta was. Someone failed at something. Someone is processing that failure. The specifics didn't matter. The emotion was universal. What's remarkable is how far this meme spread. It appears in communities that have nothing to do with anime, used by people who've never watched Dragon Ball. The image communicated defeat so clearly that it needed no translation, no explanation. You see Vegeta crying in the rain and you understand. He failed. He's processing it. He's not handling it well. That's the whole message. The scene resonates because everyone has been there, not fighting androids, but experiencing failure that breaks something inside, realizing that your best effort wasn't enough. That achievement you worked toward didn't guarantee success. The rain is perfect because its pathetic fallacy made visual. The world itself mourning with Vegeta, making his private pain into something environmental, something cosmic. Goku's confusion about kissing became one of the strangest memes to emerge from Dragon Ball Super, the scene where he admitted to never kissing Chi-Chi despite having 2 children. Vegeta's shocked reaction, the implication that Goku, married for decades, somehow avoided or forgot about kissing. The scene didn't make sense. Still doesn't, really. But that confusion became the meme. People tried to explain it. Cultural differences in how Japanese media portrays marriage, Goku's social obliviousness, mistranslation or misinterpretation of dialogue. None of the explanations fully worked. The scene remained weird, and the meme embraced that weirdness. Goku, the powerful warrior who saved the universe multiple times, somehow completely ignorant about basic marriage things. The disconnect between his combat intelligence and his emotional intelligence. The meme played with that gap. Jokes about Goku being great at fighting, but terrible at being a husband. About his priorities being completely skewed. About how someone could be that oblivious. Vegeta's reaction became its own meme within the meme. His shock that Goku had never kissed his wife. The implication that Vegeta, despite his rough exterior, understood romance better than Goku. The role reversal, where Vegeta was the more emotionally aware one. What makes it funny is how it recontextualizes everything. All those scenes of Goku and Chi-Chi's relationship, their arguments, their kids, knowing that apparently kissing was never part of it. The scene probably wasn't meant to be taken that seriously. Probably a throwaway joke that wasn't thought through. But fans took it and ran. Built an entire interpretation of Goku's character around this one weird moment. The meme also highlighted how Dragon Ball treats romance, which is to say, barely. The series focuses on fighting, training, power-ups. Romance happens off-screen, if at all. Relationships form in time skips. Marriage happens between sagas. The actual emotional development is skipped or implied. Goku's kissing confusion became a symbol of that, of how the series has always treated non-fighting relationships as afterthoughts, something that happens but isn't worth showing. Ultra Instinct's sound effect became a meme that spread far beyond Dragon Ball. The specific bass-heavy tone, the way it signals transformation, the audio cue became associated with any moment of transcendence. Any sudden power-up, any situation where someone enters a higher state of capability. The sound itself required no visual, no context. People recognized it instantly. Meme compilations used it for everything. Someone perfectly parallel parking, a chef flawlessly flipping food, a student acing a test. Whenever someone entered a flow state, achieved perfect performance. The Ultra Instinct sound would play. The joke was in the contrast, mundane excellence treated with the same audio reverence as Goku's divine transformation. Daily mastery celebrated like cosmic achievement. What made it work was the sound itself, the production quality, the way it built tension and then released. Even people who'd never watched Dragon Ball Super responded to that audio cue. It communicated something primal, the feeling of everything clicking into place, of moving beyond conscious thought into pure reaction. The meme applied that feeling to anything, made every small victory feel epic. The sound transcended language barriers completely. It appeared in memes across every language, every region. A Japanese sound effect for a Japanese character in a Japanese show became global shorthand for excellence, for transcendence, for those moments when everything goes perfectly. The audio meme proved that some things need no translation. The feeling it evokes is universal. Piccolo's "you fool" became associated with his teaching moments. Whenever Gohan or another student made a mistake, the exasperated declaration, the disappointment, the disbelief that such an obvious error could occur. Piccolo's parenting style, aggressive and blunt, crystallized in that phrase. The meme applied it to every teaching moment. Every time someone makes an obvious mistake, every instance of preventable error. What's funny is how it contrasts with Piccolo's later character development. The gruff mentor who eventually becomes genuinely caring. The harsh teacher who learns gentleness, but meme Piccolo stays frozen in his early Z characterization, the version that would call Gohan a fool for not dodging. The Namekian who had no patience for failure or fear. That Piccolo became the meme version. The real Piccolo grew, the meme didn't. The phrase works because everyone has had that teacher, the one whose disappointment cut deeper than anger, who made you feel foolish for mistakes, who set high standards and showed no mercy when you fell short. Piccolo represented that archetype, the harsh mentor who pushes you precisely because they see your potential. The meme captures both the harshness and the underlying care. You're only a fool if you could have done better. And Piccolo knows you could have. It also connects to Piccolo's own journey. He was a fool once, made mistakes, underestimated enemies, failed in his own attempts at conquest. His harshness toward students reflects his harshness toward his past self. The meme unknowingly captures that self-criticism. Piccolo seeing his students make similar mistakes and refusing to let them fail the way he did. Teaching through negative reinforcement because gentleness wasn't modeled for him. The Potara fusion's permanence became a meme about commitment, about choices you can't undo. When Goku and Vegeta fused using the Potara earrings, they believed it was forever, that Vegeta would be permanent. The meme took that and ran, applied it to any decision with lasting consequences. Marriage, tattoos, major purchases, anytime permanence loomed. Hope you're ready for Potara fusion became shorthand for point of no return. Then they retconned it, said the permanence only applied to Supreme Kais. Mortals would eventually diffuse. The meme adapted, became about promises that don't hold, about supposed permanence that turned out temporary. Both versions worked. Both resonated. The flexibility made the meme stronger. It could be about commitment or about commitments that fail. About forever or about forever with asterisks. What's interesting is how seriously Goku and Vegeta took the original permanence. Vegeta especially, willing to fuse forever to save the universe. That sacrifice, that willingness to lose individual identity, said something profound about character growth. The meme usually ignores that depth, focuses on the permanence itself rather than what accepting it meant. But occasionally, deeper memes emerge, ones that recognize the sacrifice, that treat Potara fusion as the ultimate expression of trust and necessity. The earring fusion also contrasted with the dance. Potara was instant, effortless, just put on the earrings and merge. But permanent. The dance was temporary but required effort. Coordination, mutual dignity, sacrifice. The two fusion methods represented different philosophies: convenience versus control, permanence versus flexibility. The meme highlighted this contrast, made jokes about which fusion method suited different situations, which kind of commitment made sense when. Gohan's "I am not a fighter" declarations became mimetic because of how consistently they proved false. Every time Gohan tried to leave fighting behind, tried to focus on studies or family, something would happen. Some threat would emerge, and he'd be pulled back. The pattern became predictable, became funny through repetition, Gohan stating his peaceful intentions immediately before being forced into combat. Again, the meme reflected fan frustration. Many wanted Gohan to remain relevant, to keep training, to live up to his Cell Games potential, but the narrative kept sidelining him, kept having him declare non-fighter status. The meme became a way to express that frustration, to mock the pattern of Gohan being depowered and repowered across sagas, the cycle of retirement and comeback. But there's also affection in it. Gohan wanting peace, wanting a normal life, is understandable. He didn't choose to be a warrior, was thrust into it as a child. His desire to leave fighting behind makes sense. The meme acknowledges this, while also noting that Dragon Ball will never let him go. The universe keeps dragging him back. His power is too valuable, his potential too great. No matter how many times he says he's not a fighter, circumstances make him one anyway. It also speaks to identity versus capability. Gohan is capable of fighting at the highest levels, but that's not who he wants to be. His identity is scholar, father, teacher. Fighter is a role forced upon him. The meme captures this tension, the gap between what someone can do and what they want to do. Gohan can fight gods, but he'd rather read books. Both truths coexist. Neither invalidates the other. Goku's "I'd like to see someone try" became a meme about confidence, about challenges issued to the universe. The line itself was casual, Goku responding to a threat with complete certainty that he could handle it. Not arrogance, just calm confidence. The meme took that energy and applied it broadly. anyone expressing certainty about their abilities, anyone ready for challenges. Goku's simple statement became a template. What makes it work is the delivery. Goku doesn't bluster, doesn't boast, just states fact. He's faced every threat the universe has thrown at him. He's ready for more. That calm readiness resonates. It's not about being the strongest, it's about being ready, about meeting challenges as they come. The meme celebrates that attitude, that willingness to face the unknown with confidence rather than fear. It also reflects Goku's fundamental character. He doesn't seek out fights to prove superiority. He genuinely wants to test himself, wants to see what he's capable of against new opponents. "I'd like to see someone try" isn't a threat, it's an invitation. Goku actually would like to see someone try, would welcome the challenge. That shift from aggressive posturing to genuine curiosity makes the line distinctly Goku. The meme evolved to include situations where that confidence proves misplaced, where someone says, "I'd like to see them try," and then immediately regrets it. The hubris version, the universe calling your bluff. Both interpretations coexist, the confident version and the overconfident version. The line works either way, as genuine readiness or as famous last words before disaster. Trunks' timeline became a meme about suffering, about how consistently and thoroughly the universe punishes future Trunks specifically. Androids destroy the world. He trains, defeats them, comes back to find Cell, returns to his time, Cell follows, defeats Cell, finally has peace. Then Goku Black appears, destroys everything again. Zamasu corrupts his timeline beyond repair. Zeno erases the entire timeline. Trunks loses everything. Again, the meme is dark humor, acknowledging how thoroughly the narrative brutalizes this one character. Other timelines get saved. Main timeline Trunks lives peacefully, but future Trunks, the one who fought so hard, sacrificed so much, lost everyone he loved multiple times, that Trunks gets erased from existence. Along with his entire timeline, the meme laughs at the cosmic unfairness, the absurd level of punishment heaped on one person. What makes it sting is that future Trunks did everything right, trained harder than anyone, sacrificed his present to save another timeline, defeated threats that seemed impossible, and the universe kept punishing him, kept taking everything. The meme became shorthand for disproportionate suffering, for when life keeps hitting someone who's already down. Future Trunks became the symbol of cosmically unfair treatment. It also highlighted Dragon Ball's approach to alternate timelines, casual about creation, brutal about destruction. The main timeline matters. Others can be erased without lasting consequence. Future Trunks' timeline was disposable, narratively convenient when needed, destroyed when no longer useful. The meme forced confrontation with that callousness, made fans acknowledge how badly one character had been treated across multiple sagas. Beerus' Hakai became mimetic as the ultimate delete button, a technique that erases things from existence. No key blast, no explosion, just gone. The simplicity made it perfect meme material, applied to anything someone wanted to remove. Embarrassing memories, bad relationships, awkward situations, just Hakai it. Erase it from existence. Problem solved. The meme played with the technique's absoluteness. No resurrection, no bringing it back. Hakai'd things ceased to exist completely. That finality became the joke, using cosmic erasure on mundane problems. The scale mismatch created humor. Beerus erasing ghosts or planets, memes erasing homework or obligations. The technique worked the same. The stakes were just wildly different. What's interesting is how seriously the show treats Hakai, while memes treat it casually. In Dragon Ball, erasure is ultimate punishment, reserved for irredeemable threats. Gods wielding it carefully. Memes use it for everything. Traffic, Hakai. Homework, Hakai. Vegetables, Hakai. The casual application makes it funnier, takes this apocalyptic technique and reduces it to everyday wishful thinking. The meme also connects to internet culture broadly, the desire for delete buttons in life, for the ability to erase mistakes or unwanted things. Hakai represents that fantasy. Pure removal, no consequences, just gone. The meme gives people a way to express that desire, to joke about erasing what bothers them, to pretend for a moment that deletion is possible. Whis' "Do you want to try that again?" became a meme about giving someone a chance to reconsider, about pointing out mistakes and offering a redo. The angel's patient correction of Beerus and his students, the gentle suggestion that maybe they should rethink their approach. The meme applied this to any situation where someone needs to walk back a statement or action. The phrase works because of Whis' tone, never angry, never harsh, just patient observation that perhaps a different choice would be better. That gentle correction is more cutting than anger, makes the person realize their error without being told explicitly. The meme captures that dynamic, the art of making someone reconsider through calm suggestion rather than direct criticism. It also reflects Whis' role. He's an advisor, a teacher, not a dictator. He guides through suggestion, allows people to make their own choices while pointing out consequences. Do you want to try that again? Gives agency. Acknowledges the mistake, but lets the person correct it themselves. That approach became memeable because everyone wishes they'd gotten that kind of correction. The gentle do-over instead of harsh judgment. The meme evolved to include situations where the answer is obviously yes, where someone says something so wrong that they definitely want to try again. The phrase became a polite way to say, "That was terrible, please think before speaking." But the politeness makes it cut deeper. Whis' measured delivery applied to increasingly absurd situations. Always calm, always patient, always giving that chance to reconsider. Jiren's glare became a meme about silent judgment, about communicating disapproval through pure eye contact. Jiren rarely spoke during the Tournament of Power, expressed himself through stares. Those stares carried weight, meaning the animators gave him intense eyes, made his wordless communication clear. The meme took that intensity and applied it everywhere. The glare worked for any situation requiring silent judgment. Someone says something questionable, Jiren glare. Someone makes a bad decision, Jiren glare. The response needed no words. The eyes said everything. The meme celebrated nonverbal communication, the power of a well-timed stare. What makes it funny is Jiren's serious character. He doesn't joke, doesn't do casual. Everything about him is intense, focused. The glare fits perfectly. It's absolutely in character for him to just stare at something he disapproves of. No commentary needed. The look handles it. The meme recognized this and ran with it, made Jiren the avatar of silent judgment. It also connected to real life. Everyone has given or received that look, the one that needs no words, that communicates complete thoughts through eye contact. Jiren's glare was just the animated extreme version. The meme gave people a way to express that energy, to share the look in image form, to convey judgment without typing words. The Tournament of Power's elimination light became a meme about failure, about being removed from the game. The beam shooting up when someone fell off the arena, the visual indicator of defeat. The meme applied this to any elimination, any disqualification, any moment of being removed from something. The light beam marking failure became instantly recognizable. What worked was the drama of it. The beam shooting up to the stands, everyone watching, public failure on cosmic stage. The elimination wasn't quiet, wasn't private. Everyone saw, everyone knew. The meme captured that public nature, applied it to embarrassing failures that everyone witnesses. The beam became the visual marker of witnessed defeat. It also represented finality. Once the beam hit, once you were teleported up, no coming back. Your tournament was over. That finality made it hit harder, made eliminations meaningful. The meme took that weight and applied it to smaller things, failing a test, getting rejected, losing a game. The elimination beam, treating every failure as tournament ending, making everything feel cosmic in scale. The beam also connected to video game culture, the visual indicator of player elimination, the dramatic removal from the match, esports eliminations with similar visual flair, the meme bridged anime and gaming, created crossover references, the tournament of power beam appearing in gaming contexts, gaming elimination effects appearing in anime memes. The cross-pollination made the meme stronger. Goku's shirt ripping became a meme about transformation reveals. The specific way his upper gi tears away during power-ups, the dramatic unveiling of new forms, the meme tracked every shirt-ripping moment, compiled them, celebrated the pattern. Goku's wardrobe destruction as narrative device. What made it funny was the consistency. Almost every major transformation involved shirt damage. The animators knew this visual shorthand. Tearing fabric equals power increase. Exposed chest equals serious mode. The meme acknowledged this pattern, made it explicit, turned it into a drinking game for some fans. Whenever Goku's shirt rips, power up incoming. The meme also joked about gi durability. These shirts survive planet-destroying battles, but can't handle transformations. The fabric physics made no sense, which made them perfect meme material. The shirts were simultaneously indestructible and tissue paper fragile, depending on what the narrative needed. The inconsistency became the joke. It connected to shonen anime broadly. The transformation rip is common across series, but Goku pioneered it, made it iconic. Other anime characters rip shirts during power-ups. The meme acknowledges Goku's influence, his pattern becoming the template, the shirt rip as transformation shorthand spreading across anime, all tracing back to Dragon Ball. Vegeta's "That's My Bulma" became a meme about protective rage, about someone threatening what's yours. Vegeta's explosion of power after Beerus hit Bulma, the prince who'd never shown that level of emotion about anyone, suddenly going beyond his limits for his wife. The scene was meant to be touching. The meme made it funny through application. "That's my fang" became the format, applied to anything someone felt protective about. "That's my parking spot. That's my food. That's my seat." The possessive rage applied to increasingly trivial things. The meme celebrated petty protectiveness, made it cosmic, treated minor inconveniences with Vegeta-level fury. But there's also genuine emotion in the original scene. Vegeta's growth from self-centered warrior to someone who cares about family, who'll fight gods to protect his wife. The meme sometimes acknowledges this, uses the scene for genuine expressions of protective love. The format flexible enough for both comedy and sincerity. That's my partner, that's my friend, that's my family. The possessive turned protective. The scene also highlighted Vegeta's priorities evolution. Early Vegeta cared only about power, about surpassing Goku. This Vegeta cared about Bulma's safety more than his own pride, more than strategic advantage. Beerus was a god. Attacking him was suicidal. Vegeta did it anyway. The meme captured that reckless protection, that willingness to make terrible decisions because someone hurt what's yours. Android 17's "I'm a Ranger Now" became a meme about career changes, about leaving your past behind for something completely different. 17 went from destroying cities to protecting nature, from killing humans to saving animals. The complete reversal made it memeable, applied to any dramatic career shift, any pivot to something unexpected. The idea that past doesn't determine future, that you can completely change directions. 17 proved it. Went from apocalyptic threat to park ranger to tournament of power winner. His arc was redemption through simplicity, through choosing peaceful purpose over power. The memes sometimes acknowledged this depth, sometimes just joked about the whiplash. It also connected to real life, people changing careers, leaving destructive patterns for helpful ones. The meme gave them 17 as an example. As proof it's possible, the joke format made serious life changes feel approachable. If Android 17 can become a ranger, you can become whatever you want. The meme as inadvertent inspiration. The ranger reveal also highlighted Dragon Ball's time skips. Years passing between sagas, characters changing off-screen. We leave 17 as an android antagonist, return to find him as a park ranger with a family. The gap filled by implication. The meme joked about those gaps, about what else might have changed, about other characters' off-screen transformations. Frieza's oh ho 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 laugh became audio meme. The specific cadence, the villainous chuckle, perfectly expressing smug superiority. The laugh appeared in compilations, in remixes, in unexpected contexts. The audio cue instantly recognizable, no visual needed, just that laugh. What made it work was how perfectly it communicated Frieza's character, the casual cruelty, the amusement at others' suffering, the complete confidence, all encoded in a laugh. The meme applied this to any moment of villain energy, any smug superiority, any evil laugh in any context. Frieza's chuckle became the template. The laugh also transcended language, worked in any dub, any language. The sound itself communicated meaning. No translation needed. Japanese Frieza, English Frieza, didn't matter. The laugh worked the same, meant the same. The universal language of villain chuckles. Frieza's version becoming the definitive example. It connected to voice acting craft. The specific choice to make Frieza's laugh genteel, sophisticated, not a cackle, not a roar, a polite chuckle. That contrast between the laugh and his actions made it more unsettling, more memorable. The meme celebrated that choice, made it iconic, preserved it in internet history. Cell's perfect declarations became memes about self-assessment, about announcing your own excellence. Cell calling himself perfect, repeatedly, with complete conviction. The meme applied this to any self-compliment, any moment of declaring your own greatness. The format simple, the application endless. I am perfect worked because of Cell's delivery. The absolute certainty, no doubt, no qualification, just perfect. Full stop. The memes sometimes mocked this, sometimes celebrated it, depended on context, used genuinely for actual excellence. The flexibility made it stronger. The meme also played with Cell's actual perfection. He was perfect, in universe, literally designed to be the perfect being. His self-assessment was accurate, which made it funnier. He wasn't boasting emptily. He was stating fact. The meme joked about that confidence being justified, about how annoying it is when someone's arrogance is earned. It connected to self-affirmation culture, positive self-talk, confidence building, Cell as unexpected self-help guru, declaring perfection until you believe it. The meme accidentally created inspirational content from villain dialogue, used Cell's narcissism as template for confidence. Boo's innocent destruction became memes about chaotic good, about causing problems without malice. Boo destroying cities because he didn't know better, turning people to candy because it seemed fun. The disconnect between his actions and intentions. The meme applied this to accidental chaos, to well-meaning destruction. The format worked because everyone has been Boo, done something destructive without meaning harm. The intentions were good. The results were not. The meme gave people a way to express that, to acknowledge the gap between intent and outcome. Boo becoming the patron saint of accidental disasters. It also highlighted Boo's childlike nature. He wasn't evil initially, just powerful and ignorant, didn't understand consequences. The meme sometimes acknowledged this, used Boo for jokes about childish reasoning applied to adult situations, about innocent perspectives causing chaos, the child logic that makes sense internally but destroys everything externally. The candy beam specifically became its own meme. The specific technique, turning problems into chocolate. The absurdity of it. The meme applied this to conflict resolution. Just turn difficult things into candy. Problem solved. The technique as metaphor for wish fulfillment, for magic solutions to complex problems. Gotenks' cockiness became memes about overconfidence, about young people thinking they're invincible. Gotenks' absolute certainty that he could handle any threat, despite being a fusion of two children. The pattern of him announcing victory before actually winning. The meme applied this to premature celebration, to counting chickens before hatching. The format worked because the overconfidence was so pure, so unearned. Gotenks had power, but not experience, not wisdom, just raw ability and absolute certainty it was enough. The meme celebrated that youthful hubris, that confidence that comes before reality teaches limits, applied it to anyone assuming success before achieving it. It also connected to Fusion's temporary nature. Gotenks couldn't maintain his cockiness because he couldn't maintain existence, would diffuse mid-fight. The meme joked about that, about confidence cut short, about hubris interrupted by timer running out, the 30-minute limit as cosmic humility enforcement. The specific failed techniques became memes too. Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack, the name longer than the technique's effectiveness. Galactic Donut, visually impressive, practically useless. Each failed technique became its own meme, about trying too hard to be creative, about flash over substance, about techniques that sound cooler than they work. Goten and Trunks as individuals became memes about childhood friendship, about the specific dynamic of young best friends, their casual power, their playful approach to training, the way they took universe-ending threats less seriously than their parents did. The meme applied this to any childhood friendship, any duo that doesn't take things seriously enough. The meme also highlighted power creep, these kids achieving Super Saiyan casually. What took Goku and Vegeta years of struggle, Goten and Trunks did as children, without trying particularly hard. The meme joked about generational power gaps, about how much easier younger generations have it, the technique that defined an era becoming a childhood game. Their relationship dynamic became template for friendship memes. The slightly older one, the slightly younger one, both equally chaotic, both feeding each other's worst impulses. The meme celebrated that specific dynamic, that childhood friendship where you make each other worse in the best way, where every idea seems brilliant until adults shut it down. The flying became its own meme subset. Kids flying to school, flying for fun, flying because walking is boring. The casual use of incredible power. The meme applied this to any situation where someone uses absurd solutions to simple problems. The overqualified approach, the unnecessary application of expertise, flying when you could walk, the energy expenditure making no sense. Chiaotzu's sacrifice became a meme about ineffective noble gestures, about trying to help but failing, the self-destruction that didn't actually hurt Nappa, the emotional weight of sacrifice without the practical result. The meme applied this to any failed attempt at heroism, any gesture that meant well but accomplished nothing. The scene itself was meant to be moving, Chiaotzu giving his life to try stopping a threat. The sacrifice proving insufficient didn't negate the courage, but the meme focused on the failure, on the gap between intention and result, applied it to any situation where effort didn't match outcome, where the attempt mattered but the result didn't. It also became shorthand for futile gestures, for knowing something won't work but trying anyway. The meme sometimes treated this cynically, sometimes celebrated it. Depended on context, the gesture as important, or the gesture as pointless. Both interpretations available, both used depending on what the meme needed to communicate. The friendship with Tien added layers. The meme sometimes focused on Tien's reaction, on watching your friends sacrifice themselves, on the grief that follows futile heroism, the emotional weight separate from the practical failure. The meme acknowledging both sides, the courage and the pointlessness, the love and the waste. Master Roshi's training became memes about inappropriate teaching methods, about the excuse of education for questionable behavior. The magazines, the nosebleeds, the very specific training Roshi provided. The meme applied this to any situation where someone uses legitimate role as cover for questionable actions. The meme walked a line. Original Dragon Ball played Roshi's behavior as comedy. Modern audiences see it differently. The meme exists in that gap, sometimes repeating the original joke, sometimes critiquing it, sometimes doing both. The flexibility allowing multiple readings, multiple applications. It also highlighted how Dragon Ball's tone evolved. Early series had more of this, more gag manga energy, more casual boundary crossing played for laughs. Later series shifted, became more serious, more focused on fighting than gags. The meme preserved that early energy, that specific tone that wouldn't fly in modern Dragon Ball. The turtle hermit training did produce results though. The meme acknowledged this, the questionable methods leading to genuine strength, the students who succeeded despite their teacher's flaws, the gap between teaching quality and teacher behavior. The meme sometimes celebrated the results, sometimes questioned the methods, usually did both. Yajirobe's cowardice became memes about self-preservation, about knowing when to run, about refusing to participate in fights beyond your capability. Yajirobe consistently making the smart choice to not engage with planet destroyers. The meme applied this to any situation where retreat is wisdom. The format worked because Yajirobe was right. He couldn't help in most fights. Staying away was correct. But anime celebrates heroic futility, celebrates fighting anyway. Yajirobe rejected that, chose survival over glory. The meme celebrated that choice, made a template for smart cowardice, for knowing your limits and respecting them. It also contrasted with other characters. Krillin fought despite being outclassed. Tien pushed beyond his limits constantly. Yamcha survived by not trying. And failing, Yajirobe survived by not trying. The meme acknowledged this success through avoidance, through refusing to play the game. His few moments of bravery became more impactful through rarity, cutting Vegeta's tail, giving Goku senzu beans at critical moments, the coward who acts when it actually matters. The memes sometimes acknowledged this, the value in knowing when to act versus when to hide. Yajirobe as embodiment of strategic cowardice. Oolong's transformations became memes about limited usefulness, about abilities that sound powerful but have annoying restrictions. Oolong could become anything, for 5 minutes, then needed rest. The limitation made the power nearly useless. The meme applied this to any ability hampered by restrictions. The format worked for technical limitations in general. Software that works but only for brief periods. Skills that require too much downtime. Abilities that would be great without their restrictions. Oolong became symbol for potential hampered by limitation, for power that can't quite deliver. It also joked about how rarely Oolong's ability mattered later. Early Dragon Ball, useful. Rest of the series, basically irrelevant. Power scaling left him behind. The meme acknowledged characters who become irrelevant, who start important but end up background noise. Oolong as patron saint of forgotten utility, Puar's shape-shifting by contrast had no time limit. But Puar mattered even less. The memes sometimes compared them, the useful but limited versus unlimited but useless. The cosmic joke of giving better powers to less utilized characters. The narrative irony of ability not matching relevance. Turtle's longevity became meme about witnessing history, about living long enough to see everything. The turtle present for all of it. Watching students become masters, watching masters become gods. Never fighting, just observing. The meme applied this to anyone who's been around forever, who's seen every era. The format worked as generational commentary. Old-timers who remember when, who watched everything change. The turtle as ultimate observer. The longest perspective. The meme celebrated that view, that accumulation of experience and context, the wisdom that comes from simply outlasting everything. It also joked about turtle speed meeting immortal lifespan, moving slowly forever. The universe's longest journey. The meme applied this to any slow but steady approach, to patience taken to cosmic extremes, the turtle embodying extreme versions of turtle wisdom. Slow and steady across centuries, his house became meme about real estate, about oceanfront property, about the Kame house surviving universe-ending threats while being small wooden structure on pillar. The durability making no sense. The meme celebrated that nonsense, applied it to any structure that shouldn't survive but does. King Kai's planet became meme about downsizing, about living on progressively smaller spaces. The entire planet smaller than a house, with road around it. Where Snake Way ended, the specific absurdity of a god living on tiny planet with monkey and cricket. The meme applied this to any cramped living situation, any downsizing to absurd degrees. The format worked for space efficiency jokes, for tiny houses taken to extreme, for making do with limited space, King Kai's planet as template for extreme minimalism, for living small. The meme celebrated and mocked that efficiency, depending on context, depending on what it needed to say. The driving practice became its own meme. Goku learning to drive on tiny planet, where one circle completed a lap, the specific absurdity of this driving school. The meme applied to any bad education, any teacher with limited resources, any learning situation that makes no sense. His jokes became memes about bad humor, about dad jokes taken to divine levels. King Kai's requirement that people laugh at his jokes. The jokes being terrible, the meme applied this to any forced humor, any bad joke with power dynamic behind it. Laugh or face consequences. The cosmic dad joke enforcer. Bulma's capsules became meme about convenient technology, about storage solutions that make no sense, entire houses in pills, vehicles in pockets, the complete disregard for physics. The meme applied this to any impossible convenience, any technology that would solve everything if it existed. The format worked as wish fulfillment. Everyone wants capsule technology. Everyone wants to carry houses in pockets, vehicles in purses. The meme celebrated that desire, made jokes about what people would capsule, how it would change everything. The casual world-breaking technology played for convenience. It also highlighted how Dragon Ball ignores its own implications. Capsule tech should revolutionize everything, should solve housing, transportation, storage, everything. But it's just background element. The meme pointed out that gap between what technology implies and what it actually does in universe. The Bulma's changing hair color became meme about continuity, about design changes, about character appearance evolution. Her hair going from purple to blue to teal across series, the inconsistency becoming its own thing. The meme applied to any continuity error, any design drift. Bulma's hair as template for changes nobody explains. Shenron's wish limits became memes about genie rules, about cosmic power with annoying restrictions. Can't exceed creator's strength. One wish per customer. Some limitations made sense, others felt arbitrary. The meme applied this to any power with frustrating limits, any ability that should solve everything but can't. The format worked for commenting on plot convenience. Shenron can do this, but not that. Depends on what the story needs. The meme acknowledged those narrative needs, joked about the Dragon Balls becoming less useful over time, more restrictions added when too powerful. The cosmic power nerfed repeatedly. It also became template for bureaucracy, for rules that make no sense, for limitations that feel designed to frustrate. Shenron as symbol for help that comes with asterisks, for solutions that bring new problems, for wishes granted technically but not really. His fear of Beerus became its own meme. The eternal dragon afraid of God. The cosmic hierarchy made visual. The meme applied to any situation where powerful entity defers to more powerful one, where confidence disappears facing higher authority. Shenron's terror as template for hierarchical fear. Purunga's multiple wishes seemed better, 3 wishes versus 1. But smaller scope, different trade-offs. The meme compared them, joked about which dragon you'd summon when. The Namekian dragon as alternative option. The choice between quantity and quality of wishes. The language barrier, initially requiring Namekian speech, became meme about translation issues, about help being less helpful when you can't communicate. The cosmic dragon you can't talk to. The meme applied to any tool made useless by communication gap, any resource you can't access properly. Dende upgrading Earth's dragon became meme about updates, about patches fixing issues, about version improvements. Shenron 2.0 with extra wish, better functionality. The meme applied to any upgrade, any improvement to existing system. The Dragon Balls getting patched like software. The yearly cooldown became meme about waiting periods, about help being available but not yet, about timers on revival. The meme applied to any forced waiting, any cooldown on important things, the year between wishes as template for frustrating delays. Time chambers time dilation became meme about cramming, about making time when there isn't any, about training montages, 1 day outside, 1 year inside. The efficiency, the power growth. The meme applied to any accelerated learning, any crash course, any intensive preparation period. The food and beds inside became meme about amenities, about the specific contents, about what you'd bring for year-long isolation. The meme joked about optimal year supplies, about what you'd want in time chamber, about making space livable for extended stays. The temperature and air thinning became meme about difficulty progression, about environments getting harder as you go deeper. The hostile conditions as training tool. The meme applied to any graduated difficulty, any environment that punishes exploration. The time chamber as template for hostile training grounds. The entry limit became meme about usage restrictions, about powerful tools you can only use twice, about rationing access to beneficial things. The meme applied to any limited use advantage, any resource with hard caps, the chamber's limit as template for frustrating restrictions. The expansion in Super, Vegeta training there repeatedly, the limit seemingly forgotten. The meme joked about rule changes, about continuity, about limits that stop mattering. The time chamber's rules becoming flexible when story needs them. Senzu beans became meme about instant healing, about convenient solutions, about getting up from defeat immediately. The beans as plot device, as healing item. The meme applied to any convenient recovery, any healing that works too well, any solution that feels cheap. The limited supply became its own thing, Krillin growing them, the scarcity, the rationing, characters running out at bad times. The meme joked about bean economy, about Krillin's production capacity, about treating healing items like resource management, Yajirobe eating them casually. The meme highlighted that contrast, the difference between treating beans as precious versus as snacks, applied to any resource misuse, any waste of valuable things. The stomach-filling property, the beans as meal replacement. The meme applied this to diet culture, to meal replacement jokes, to efficiency eating. The bean as ultimate food optimization, nutrition and healing in one bite. The one bean fully healing anyone regardless of injury severity. The scaling making no sense. The meme acknowledged this absurdity, joked about beans healing minor cuts, same as near death. The flat healing rate applied to any one-size-fits-all solution. Weighted training clothes became meme about hidden power, about removing weights revealing true strength. Goku and Piccolo dropping weighted gi, moving much faster. The reveal that they'd been handicapped. The meme applied to any hidden advantage, any concealed capability. The specific weights, Goku's boots and shirt weighing tons, walking around in planet-weight clothing. The absurdity of it. The meme joked about that strength applied elsewhere, about what else he could lift casually, about power scaling making no sense. Rock Lee and Naruto doing the same thing. Dragon Ball's influence visible. The meme acknowledged these references, connected franchises through weighted clothing, made a template that spread across anime, the lack of weighted clothes mattering later, power levels climbing so high that weights become irrelevant. The meme joked about outgrowing the technique, about training methods that stop working, about power creep making old tricks useless. Afterimage technique became meme about speed, about moving fast enough to leave copies, the technique looking cool, being useful early, then becoming standard, everyone moving that fast. Eventually, the meme tracked technique evolution, from special to common, the multiple afterimages, Goku filling area with copies, the technique's upper limits, The meme applied this to multitasking, to being in multiple places, to splitting focus, the after image as template for divided attention. Solar flare became meme about cheap tactics, about Krillin and Tien spamming the same move, about effective techniques used repeatedly. The meme celebrated efficiency, the smart fight, using what works even if it's not flashy, the technique working on everyone, regardless of power level, the equalizer move. The meme highlighted this, applied it to any simple solution to complex problem, any basic technique that stays relevant. Solar flare as template for simplicity beating complexity. The few times it failed, when opponents adapted, covered eyes, wore sunglasses. The meme joked about obvious counters, about technique having simple solutions, about the solar flare arms race, adaptation versus repeated use. Spirit bomb became meme about asking for help, about charging the ultimate move, about energy donation. The meme applied to crowdfunding, to collective effort, to gathering resources from many sources. The spirit bomb as template for community power. The charging time, standing there while it forms, needing protection while gathering energy. The meme joked about vulnerability during preparation, about powerful techniques requiring setup, about interruption risk, the technique rarely working as planned, usually getting deflected, bounced back, failing initially. The meme highlighted this pattern, applied it to plans that seem great but fail, to ultimate solutions that don't work. Spirit bomb as template for backup plans needing backup plans. Goku sharing with Frieza, the irony, the person you're fighting contributing energy. The meme joked about that awkwardness, about ironic help. The Great Saiyaman costume became a meme about trying too hard, about Gohan's attempt at superhero aesthetics, the poses, the absolutely ridiculous helmet. The character meant it seriously. The audience couldn't. The meme applied to any overcomplicated solution to simple problem, any attempt at cool that lands as dorky instead. What made it funnier was the contrast. Gohan had defeated Cell, saved the world, had legitimate claim to being Earth's strongest defender. And he chose to dress like that, chose those poses, that voice. The gap between his actual power and his presentation became comedy gold. The meme celebrated that gap, applied it to anyone whose self-image doesn't match external perception. The civilian reactions helped. People in universe found it as silly as viewers did. Vidal's embarrassment, other students' confusion, even criminals not taking him seriously initially. The show acknowledged the absurdity, made it part of the joke. The meme extended that acknowledgement, made Great Saiyaman symbol for well-intentioned cringe. The poses themselves became their own meme subset, each one more elaborate than the last. The specific gestures, the announcements, the full commitment to the bit. People recreated them ironically, performed them at conventions, the poses as celebration of going all in on something silly, of committing fully to a bad idea. Vidal's relationship with Gohan started with her finding Great Saiyaman ridiculous. The meme played with that dynamic. The person who thinks you're absurd eventually accepting you anyway. The relationship built on seeing through the costume to the person underneath. Great Saiyaman as accidental romance template. Connect through shared recognition of absurdity. The costume appearing in later series, Gohan occasionally returning to it. The meme joked about never letting go of your cringe face, about the costume haunting you, about past choices following you forward. Great Saiyaman as symbol for things you did in youth that never fully leave. Hercule's championship belt became meme about fake achievements, about credit taken for others' work, about maintaining image despite knowing truth. Hercule built entire career on lies, on victories that weren't his. The belt symbolized that fraud. The meme applied it to any unearned recognition, any award given to wrong person. What complicated the meme was Hercule's genuine courage later, his friendship with Boo, his role in gathering energy for Spirit Bomb, the fraud who eventually earned some respect. The meme sometimes acknowledged this growth, sometimes ignored it, depended on which version served the joke better. The belt's persistence mattered too, across sagas and series. Through world-ending threats, Hercule maintained champion status. The lie became truth, through repetition, through public belief. The meme joked about fake it until you make it, about image outlasting reality, the belt a symbol of sustained fraud, his daughter discovering the truth, Videl learning her father was fraud, the belt becoming complicated family heirloom. The meme played with that dynamic, with inheriting lies, with learning your hero was never what you thought. The belt carrying weight beyond championship, tournament rings became meme about arbitrary boundaries, about how much fighting happens outside official matches. The meme tracked times tournaments devolved into wars, times the ring became irrelevant, times actual threats interrupted scheduled fights. The format as suggestion rather than rule. The World Martial Arts Tournament structure. The brackets. The organization. All of it dissolving into chaos repeatedly. The meme celebrated that pattern, applied it to any plan that immediately falls apart, any structure that can't contain what it's meant to organize. Tournaments as template for order becoming disorder. The ring-out rule, the arbitrary boundary that decides matches standing outside the ring equals loss, regardless of actual fighting capability. The meme joked about technicalities, about arbitrary rules determining outcomes, about format mattering more than skill sometimes. The audience watching crowds observing fights they don't understand, seeing demonstrations of godly power and thinking it's tricks. The meme applied to any expertise performed for people who can't recognize it, any mastery displayed to those without context to appreciate it. The announcers trying to explain impossible things, maintaining professional commentary during reality-breaking fights. The meme celebrated their commitment, their attempt to narrate the unnarratable, applied to any situation where someone tries maintaining normalcy during chaos. The prize money mattering early, being motivation for participation, then becoming completely irrelevant as stakes escalated. The meme tracked that shift, from fighting for money to fighting for universe. The tournament prizes becoming joke as actual threats appeared. Otherworld tournament. The ring in afterlife. Dead fighters competing. The meme joked about ultimate participation barrier, about tournament exclusive to deceased, about afterlife having better competition than living world. The concept as absurdist extension of tournament format. Xeno's tournament of power. Universe deletion as stakes. The ring as stage for cosmic survival. The meme applied extreme stakes to casual things. Made grocery shopping universe ending. Made small choices cosmic. The tournament as template for disproportionate consequences. Flying being illegal in some tournaments. Arbitrary power restrictions. The meme joked about handicaps, about rules designed to level playing field failing completely, about restrictions that stop mattering as power levels climb. Goku's eating became meme about appetite, about consuming impossible amounts, about food as power-up, the specific scenes, mountains of food disappearing, restaurants bankrupted. The meme applied to any excessive eating, any appetite that exceeds reason. Goku as template for unlimited hunger. The speed of consumption mattered too, not just amount but velocity, food vanishing, chopsticks blurring, the eating itself becoming superhuman feat. The meme celebrated that excess, applied it to competitive eating, to any situation involving rapid consumption. Chi-Chi's reaction to grocery bills, the economic impact of feeding Saiyan. The meme joked about expense, about the cost of maintaining that appetite, applied to any expensive maintenance, any upkeep that drains resources. Goku's hunger as financial burden, post-fight feasts, the pattern of eating after battles, recovery through food. The meme connected eating to healing, made it restoration mechanic, applied video game logic to appetite, food as health potion, eating as recovery system, sharing meals with enemies, eating with Frieza, with Boo, the casual dining despite previous combat. The meme joked about awkward meals, about eating with people you fought, about food as diplomacy, the dinner table as neutral ground, senzu beans versus actual food, The efficiency comparison, one bean versus feast. The meme joked about meal replacement, about Goku preferring actual food despite senzu convenience, the choice reflecting character, valuing experience over efficiency, training while eating, combining activities. The efficiency the meme applied to multitasking, to optimization of time, Goku eating while training as template for combined productivity, food bribes working consistently, Goku motivated by meals, fighting harder for promise of food. The meme joked about priorities, about Goku's motivations being simpler than expected, food as greater motivator than saving universe sometimes. Bulma's tech inventions became memes about casual genius, about creating world-changing technology as throwaway solutions. The Dragon Radar, the Time Machine, gravity chambers, each one revolutionary, each treated as simple project. The meme applied to any casual display of extreme competence. The Capsule Corporation, Bulma's family business, the technology they created and marketed. The meme joked about inherited genius, about family of inventors, about corporations built on impossible tech. Capsule Corp as template for a science fiction company. Her relationship with Vegeta, genius scientist with alien warrior, the unlikely pairing. The meme celebrated odd couples, applied it to any mismatched relationship. Bulma and Vegeta as template for opposites attracting against all logic. Her role evolution, from adventure companion to tech support, from active participant to research and development. The meme tracked that shift, joked about character role changes, about moving from fieldwork to support role. The slap her ground universe, Bulma hitting Beerus, god of destruction. The audacity, the consequences. Vegeta's response, the entire sequence became meme about standing up to authority, about anger overriding survival instinct, about consequences of hitting divine beings. Her changing appearance across series, different hair, different style, the character design evolution. The meme joked about continuity, about character redesigns, about visual changes nobody comments on in universe. Bulma as template for design drift. The age question, Bulma aging while others don't. Saiyans staying young. Her dealing with that difference. The meme applied to relationship age gaps, to aging at different rates, to time affecting partners differently. Her engineering rival Capsule Corp competitors. The brief mentions of other inventors. The meme joked about Bulma eclipsing everyone, about being so far ahead that competition becomes irrelevant, about genius making rivalry pointless. Launch's disappearance became meme about forgotten characters, about being written out without explanation, about Toriyama literally forgetting she existed, the character vanishing between series. The meme applied to any abandoned plot thread, any character written out quietly. The sneeze mechanic, personality switching, blonde Launch and blue-haired Launch, the gimmick that defined her. The meme applied to mood swings, to personality shifts, to people who change completely based on triggers. Launch as template for split behavior. Her crush on Tien, the unrequited affection, following him despite disinterest. The meme applied to one-sided attraction, to pursuing someone not interested. Launch as symbol of hopeless crush, of affection that goes nowhere. The bank robbery scenes, blonde Launch's criminal behavior, the casual violence, the switch from sweet to dangerous. The meme celebrated that contrast, applied to any personality flip, any sudden behavior change. The switch as template for unexpected shifts. Her complete absence in Z, the character just gone, no explanation, no send-off. The meme joked about missing characters, about cast getting trimmed, about Toriyama's admission he forgot her. Launch as ultimate example of character being dropped. Occasional references to her in guidebooks, confirmation she existed, that she's still around somewhere, just not shown. The meme applied to characters existing in limbo, to cast members in permanent off-screen status. Launch as patron saint of abandoned characters. Fan theories about what happened, where she went, what she's doing. The meme played with speculation. with filling gaps left by narrative, launches absence as blank canvas for imagination, for fans creating their own explanations. Pilaf Gang's age reversal, villains from original Dragon Ball turned into children by Whis. The meme joked about accidental youth, about wishes backfiring, about former threats becoming irrelevant through transformation. Pilaf as template for neutered villains. Their role in Super, comic relief, occasional plot devices. The contrast with their original threat level. The meme celebrated fall from grace, applied to any villain who becomes joke, any threat that transforms into comedy. Mai's relationship with Trunks, the age complication, the original age versus current appearance. The meme joked about complicated timelines, about age becoming meaningless through wishes and time travel. Mai and Trunks as template for timeline relationship confusion. The wish granting gone wrong, the monkey's paw aspect, getting youth but too much youth. The meme applied to wishes with unintended consequences, to getting what you asked for but not what you wanted. The Pilaf wish as template for careful wording importance. Their survival across series, from Dragon Ball to Super, persisting through irrelevance. The meme celebrated persistence, applied to any character who just keeps showing up. Pilaf Gang as template for refusing to disappear despite losing relevance. Bardock's time travel, low-class Saiyan becoming Super Saiyan, the special giving him backstory. The meme applied to prequel complications, to adding history that changes context. Bardock as template for retroactive character development, his resemblance to Goku, the visual connection, the rare Toriyama repeat design. The meme joked about family resemblance, about genetic copy-paste, about Saiyans all looking similar. Bardock and Goku as template for strong family features. The headband, blood-soaked, iconic. The visual marker, the meme celebrated signature accessories, applied to any character-defining item. The headband as symbol of Bardock identity, of warrior status, of connection to crew. His crew's death, the genocide of Saiyans, his attempt to change fate. The meme applied to fighting inevitable outcomes, to struggling against predetermined endings. Bardock as template for tragic foreknowledge, for knowing what's coming but fighting anyway. His appearance in Minus, the retcon, the changed backstory, different characterization. The meme joked about continuity changes, about retellings that contradict. Bardock having multiple origin stories, multiple versions of same character. Future visions, seeing Goku's destiny, the psychic ability. The meme applied to prophetic knowledge, to seeing what's coming, to visions that drive action. Bardock's foresight as template for prophecy complications. His challenge to Frieza, the hopeless fight, knowing he'll lose but fighting anyway. The meme celebrated defiance, applied to any doomed resistance, any fight taken despite knowing outcome. Bardock as template for heroic futility, Raditz being Goku's brother. The reveal that started Z, the family connection establishing Saiyan history. The meme joked about terrible siblings, about family showing up with bad news. Raditz as template for embarrassing relatives. His weakness relative to others, being literally the weakest Saiyan shown. The meme celebrated that distinction, applied to any character who's technically part of powerful group, but actually the weak link. Raditz as patron saint of disappointing family members. The hair, the length, the volume, Raditz having objectively coolest Saiyan hair. The meme celebrated that achievement, his only win, best hair while being worst fighter. The contrast making it funnier. Raditz's hair as his sole victory. His death, killed by own brother and former enemy teaming up. The irony of Goku and Piccolo's first cooperation. The meme applied to unlikely alliances, to enemies teaming against mutual threat. Raditz as catalyst for cooperation. His absence from family discussions later, Goku rarely mentioning having brother. The casualness of forgetting Raditz. The meme joked about ignored family, about relatives nobody talks about. Raditz as template for family members erased from conversation. Nappa's bald head, the lack of hair on Saiyan hair traditions. The meme joked about genetic lottery, about missing family traits, Nappa as example of Saiyan without signature hair, his casual violence, the city destruction, the wasteland creation, all before actual fight. The meme applied to unnecessary escalation, to causing damage before it's needed. Nappa as template for excessive force applied early, his death at Vegeta's hands, killed for losing, for being wounded. The casual execution, the meme applied to harsh management, to being fired permanently. Nappa's death as template for extreme performance reviews, his appearance in Super, as joke, as background gag, the character reduced to comedy reference. The meme joked about posthumous dignity loss, about being remembered as punchline. Nappa's afterlife appearances as template for continued humiliation. The Vegeta, what does Scouter say? Setup. The feed line. Nappa's role in the most famous Dragon Ball meme, his contribution being asking the question. The meme celebrated assist recognition, applied to any setup person. Nappa as ultimate straight man. Guldo's time freeze. The technique that should be unbeatable. The power set that makes him theoretically strongest. The meme joked about ability versus results, about having perfect technique but lacking everything else. Guldo as template for wasted potential. His appearance, being least impressive looking Ginyu Force member, the contrast with his ability, the meme applied to not judging by appearance, to powerful abilities in unimpressive packages. Goldo as template for surprise competence. His death, killed mid-technique, murdered while time was frozen. The irony, the meme applied to being beaten by own power, to technique failing at worst moment. Guldo's death as template for power-turning liability. His brief relevance, mattering for moments then gone. The meme applied to any flash and pan character, any brief appearance that promises more than it delivers. Guldo as template for underutilized concepts. Riku's naming attacks, the overly elaborate callouts, the specific techniques with ridiculous names. The meme celebrated attack nomenclature, applied to any overcomplicated naming. Riku as template for unnecessarily detailed callouts. His durability, taking hits that should end fights, continuing despite damage. The meme applied to anyone who won't stay down, to persistence through pain. Riku as template for stubborn endurance. His fighting style, wrestling moves in key battle, the genre mixing. The meme joked about bringing wrong fighting style, about applying inappropriate techniques. Riku as template for style mismatch. His voice, the specific characterization in dub, the personality given to muscle. The meme celebrated voice acting choices, applied to any character defined by vocal performance. Riku as template for voice-making character. Birder's speed claims, the fastest in universe, the boasting, then being proven wrong. The meme applied to any empty boast, any claim immediately disproven. Birder as template for premature bragging. His teamwork with Jace, the Blue Hurricane combination, the coordinated attacks. The meme celebrated duo techniques, applied to any team combo. Birder and Jace as template for synchronized fighting. His death, killed while down, murdered by Vegeta casually. The meme applied to unsporting behavior, to killing defeated opponents. Birder's death as example of Vegeta's ruthlessness. Jace's Australian accent. The voice choice, the characterization through dialect. The meme celebrated localization choices, applied to any unexpected accent. Jace as template for regional characterization. His survival, outlasting most of team, being final Ginyu member standing. The meme joked about last man standing, about surviving through luck. Jace as template for unexpected longevity. His retreat, running away, getting back up, the smart tactical choice that proves useless. The meme applied to running away, accomplishing nothing, to retreat, failing to save you. Jace as template for postponed defeat. Ginyu's body swap, the technique that could solve everything, the ability that should make him unbeatable. The meme applied to overpowered abilities, with obvious weaknesses, to techniques that seem perfect but have fundamental flaws. Ginyu's swap as template for power with fatal flaw. The frog body, ultimate humiliation, strongest Ginyu Force member trapped in amphibian. The meme celebrated ironic punishment applied to any situation where power becomes curse. Ginyu as template for abilities backfiring completely. His honor, refusing to take advantage, following his code despite opportunities. The meme applied to values causing defeat, to honor being liability. Ginyu as template for principles causing failure. His voice in different bodies. The unchanged characterization, the personality persisting through forms. The meme joked about identity transcending appearance, about voice being core self. Ginyu as template for identity permanence. Zarbon's transformation, beautiful form to monster form. The gap between appearances, the meme applied to any two-stage reveal, to beauty-hiding beast. Carbon as template for deceptive first impression, his vanity, the pride in appearance, the characterization through aesthetic concern. The meme applied to anyone prioritizing looks, to vanity as character trait. Carbon as template for beautiful villain, his relationship with Frieza, the loyal subordinate, the servant who knows his place. The meme applied to any toxic employment, any service requiring dignity sacrifice. Zarbon as template for degrading loyalty. Dodoria's brutality, the enforcer role, the casual violence. The meme applied to any muscle character, any enforcer type. Dodoria as template for brutal subordinate. His pink color, the specific design choice, the appearance that contradicts role. The meme joked about appearances misleading, about unexpected color schemes. Dodoria as template for design surprise. His death, quick, efficient, disposed of by Vegeta. The meme applied to any quick exit, any character eliminated efficiently. Dodoria as template for rapid removal. Quay's rivalry with Vegeta, the competition, the long-standing grudge, immediately resolved. The meme joked about hyped rivalries ending quickly, about built-up confrontations disappointing. Kwai as template for anticlimactic showdowns. Thank you for spending this time in the Dragon Ball universe with me. If you'd like to keep drifting, another video is ready on the left of your screen. You can let it continue softly in the background. You may fall asleep while the next journey unfolds.